Today, I want to talk a little bit about why I quit social media. This all started from around a year ago when I decided to take a break from all the scrolling and see if I will be able to derive anything good, productive, creative out of not having social media in my life. So it's been around a year or a little bit over a year since I deleted Instagram and all these other apps. On my flight back to Shanghai from Taipei, there's this woman sitting diagonally across on the plane, scrolling, using her phone. She was on Instagram for around 20 minutes or so prior to us taking off. When we took off, once she did not have data anymore, she started reading this in flight magazine, but she could not read the magazine for longer than 2 minutes. She kind of just flipped through and took out her phone again. And as soon as she took out her phone, she started switching between different screens or different pages of apps that you would have on the phone. And she just kept swiping through one after another for around 5 to 10 minutes. And after that, she started feeling a little agitated, a little uncomfortable in the absence of Instagram. Right after her switching between screens, she decided to buy in-flight data so that she can continue scrolling on Instagram and sending messages on various messaging apps. She needed that connection. That was shocking to me. Shocking in the sense that technology is able to enslave a human being, making a human being so uncomfortable in the absence of social media that she needs to buy data just to continue using it. What I want to talk about is reasons behind why I quit social media. So as a kid, I read a lot and reading just anything I can get my hands on because we had a pretty big bookshelf at home and it was mostly history though, so Japanese history, Chinese history, mostly Chinese history because I was really into that as a kid. But after we got smartphones, when social media became accessible 24/7, the hours I spent reading decreased from, let's say, 5 hours a day to probably one. And it just got worse after that. And after around half a year or so, I stopped picking up a book. And that's a really big regret of mine. And I only realized the time that it wasted for me last year when I decided to quit social media. And I decided to take time back. So the first reason why I decided to quit social media is what social media does today is it closes in on the proximity between people of different classes, like social classes. As an average person, you're able to peek into the life of a multimillionaire, a billionaire, NBA superstars, celebrities. It has never been easier because in the past, we were physically separated from one another, and we also didn't have the capability to broadcast our lives because of the physical and technological barriers. People of different social classes didn't know that much about each other. But today, with a closer proximity between different classes on social media, it's so much easier for people to compare their lives to the lives of others, elites, without understanding that most of what you see on social media is fabricated, it's filtered. People only choose to present the best version of their lives. And all of this comparison of lifestyle is causing a lot of depression and causing a lot of people to feel disgruntled over the way they're living their lives. And I just did not like that. The second thing about social media that I didn't like so much is how they make money through attention. And I would say the main purpose of social media platforms is to keep you on their platform or their app as much as possible so they can gather data on your behavior, your interest, and what you like. so that they can feed you more content that is in line with your view of the world, your interests, and to keep you on. And this also affects your attention span. In the case that you're scrolling TikTok, 7-second videos, scrolling up and down, you are training your brain to have a short attention span. You are trading the length of your attention span for novelty in the information you're able to receive. You're practicing this day in, day out for hours. You're also practicing the act of checking your phone when you're bored or tired throughout the day, when you're commuting on the bus, on the plane, so that you're really not able to deal with boredom. You're not able to enjoy the moment, your presence. The brain has been trained so much to scroll for novelty that the rewards of thinking on the spot and experiencing boredom is much lower. And as a result of this, the agitation and the fidgeting I saw in the woman sitting in front of me is also learned behavior. It's trained because you're giving the brain so much stimulus throughout the day that not having that stimulus could be thought of as an existential crisis, because now the norm is to scroll and the outlier scenario is to be bored. There's also a third reason behind why I quit social media, and that is mimesis. I talked about this in a previous video. It's a idea coined by Rene Girard. He explains that people do not know what they want, so they use other people's desires as a proxy for their own. So, for instance, in advertising, companies are telling us to go for the woman in the red dress. So, you mistake that as what you really want. So, that's just an example. And on social media, what it does is it shows you many different forms of desire proxies. This would be your traveling pages, shopping, fine dining, a lot of stuff related to upscaling your life and continuous increase in spending as you become more successful, or that it's normal for you to up your spending as you earn more. But are these proxies that social media present us really the proxy that you want for your desire? Every one of these desire signals, they come in a form of zero sum games, and you have to keep one upping another to attain victory, or else you lose. It's very much zero sum. Who has the best style? Who went to the the best restaurant? Who has the best piece, fashion piece? Who went to the most amazing travel destination and took the best photos and videos? Are these things what you really want? Take myself for example. I don't care for any of these things, to be honest. I do enjoy them, but these are not things that I inherently desire strongly. I don't have to go on 3, 4 trips and travel all the time throughout a year. I don't. I realized through spending a lot of time alone, writing about my thoughts, diving deep into who I am, how I was raised, what I enjoyed as a kid before all these desire proxies got thrown into my face, before I understood what status was. And for me, it is to collect knowledge, to understand how the world works, and to understand a topic deeply. And I think that reading is the best way to do that. Reading and speaking about the bodies of knowledge you're interested in is the best way to do that. And social media takes away from all of that self enrichment that you can perform when you're alone. What I did after I quit social media is that I swapped it for reading. a lot more reading when I do get free time outside of work. And I also swapped it for a lot of writing and working on a personal brand. And starting this channel is one step towards building that personal brand so that I can do things that I like, things that are more meaningful to me, and to return to my purest interests I had as a kid.